See you.
And I'm Candace Bailey.
Yes, you are.
We are coming to you live.
Guess what, kids? On the show today, comedian Jim Gaffigan has a new downloadable comedy special. Not only will it entertain you, but it'll actually help families of wounded vets. And if you ask me, call that a win-win.
Yeah, it is.
No loser in that situation.
No losers there.
Unless you, if you don't download it. I'm not calling you a loser, but I'm saying you might be if you don't download it, which is kind of in a roundabout way. I'm calling you a loser. I just want to explain the... Plus, Tupac took the stage in holographic form at Coachella this weekend.
Yeah.
Still shredded. Alex Simwise pulls back the curtain to show us how the technology works. OMG! Technology!
Then Jessica Chobot gets inside a bitchin' new Camaro for a white-knuckle test drive. The new model of this Chevy Classic is the fastest one ever made. See if Chobot can keep her cool on those hairpin turns. And hey, it's been raining in California lately.
It has, yes.
But has it been radioactive rain? Find out whether or not Japan's nuclear fallout has hit the west coast in today's loop.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. But first, let's see what's going on in the news world, shall we?
Hi, Sarah.
Hey! Well, rumors about Apple's pint-sized iPad say it might be arriving sooner than you think. Yes.
Tomorrow? Is it here now? Is it here now?
Kevin,
Now?
you do this every day.
I know.
Wait for the feed.
It's still news.
Stop it.
This is a tease.
Plus, the NFL is cracking down on obnoxious fans. I'll tell you how. Coming up in the feed.
Oh my God! Oh wait.
You are looking so colorful today.
Thank you.
I'm loving all the colors.
It's really. I wanted to match the green with the pink, and I thought the tie was a good.
I said Sarah.
Didn't hear that part. Sorry.
All right.
Sarah looks great too.
She does. You look very handsome as well. Let's go around the net.
Don't presume to know our audience or anything about them. Included in that is how they spent their weekend. I don't know how you celebrated it. I have no idea. I have no way of knowing.
Neither.
But if you weren't doing it like this, you're missing out. Good hang time. Congratulations to that brave camera person, whoever smuggled that out. I didn't think they had footage from the North Korean missile launch, so it's nice to see.
We congratulate the great successor on his triumphant display of military might in the face of the capitalist American dogman.
Yeah, what Candace said. Nice work, everybody.
Yay! Now, we rely on the Onion News Network to keep us abreast of all the latest fake news.
Abreast. It's a funny word because it's
Be a grown-up, Kevin.
Yep, fine. The Onion today revealed the strategy that Democrats are bringing to the 2012 election at the expense of President Obama.
Obama's poll numbers among his Democratic base are way down. The reason, analysts suggest, liberal voters just want to see Obama sweat a little before they inevitably vote for him. Jason, fill us in.
Yeah, Andrea, pretty interesting. Take a look at this. A full 63% of registered voters say they're undecided about who they're voting for. But when pressed with a second question, okay, but seriously, when it comes down to it, who are you really going to vote for? 89% say Obama.
Hey, Jason, let's see what some of those so-called undecided Democrats are saying.
I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I've been seeing some real nice ads for Mitt Romney. We're flashy and sophisticated. Hear that, Obama?
Honestly, I've never voted anything but Democrat my entire life, but I don't know about this year. How does it make you feel, Obama?
I mean, I have to say, all of this has got to be rattling the president, and indeed I think it is. He released a statement today saying, quote, listen, I know I haven't been the best president in the world, but I'm sorry and I really will do better. Just say you will vote for me, say it, I'll do anything.
I mean, would you believe that 4
well,
years ago?
and, you know, look at this. The Obama 2012 team also unveiled this new campaign poster.
God, I love that.
That's not applause worthy. I know how that feels.
What?
I do. My poll numbers have never been great. Not once. Not a
Kevin,
single poll.
That's because you were a horrible person.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows. But that didn't stop Trump from being a front runner, did it?
That's true.
Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to bankrupt a casino or rail against medicine? You want me to wear a golden eagle carcass on my head? I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, look. Perfect.
You're fired. Arsenio, you're fired. I'd love that show. I love it. I watched the hell out of Celebrity Apprentice.
You acted like you didn't know what he
Really
did
did.
before. You're like, I don't know if he does that when he says you're fired. I was like, how do you know?
What,
You're
this?
like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, totally. I watched
Oh, he
that show
does?
religiously.
Oh.
That, Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant. Like, that's my DVR is just...
You're worse than me.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
That is worse than my shows.
Yeah.
You know, baseball is back. And this season, the Florida Marlins are opening a new billion-dollar stadium.
Yeah, and the new facility has quite an interesting way of celebrating a Marlin home run.
And out here in the Cleveland, a perfect spot for Elsa. Look at this ball coming right at us, Elsa.
It's deep. It's gone. Light that thing up. And you would, I mean, it figures, Tommy.
They do not make it easy on me to be from Florida. I will tell you that. Just make
That
it
looked like
hard.
a bad Price is Right game.
It did.
I wanted to see like a little mountain climber yodeling up the side of the thing.
That's right. It was really ugly.
Yes.
I mean, even for a baseball stadium.
But it does, true, but it does serve an important educational purpose. You know, after the BP oil spill, those crappy cardboard marlins, they're only fish that are left in the ocean now in Florida. So, it's a, you're all sad now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's baseball. That means it's working.
Hey, videos are a fantastic way to learn things.
Yes.
Did you know?
I didn't. But
They
here's
are.
a handy guide to landscaping from the fellows at humordy.com.
Maintaining a well-kept lawn is difficult, especially when all you want to do is smoke PCP and relax. Step 1, get your lawnmower. Step 2, take the PCP. A quick tip, make sure you have plenty of gas. Uh-oh, looks like we're almost on empty. A quick trip to the gas station is in order. It's a minor inconvenience, but that's okay because I feel great! I can do anything! I am Marty Adams! Stop.
Don't touch him. You're a runner. Sir, just sit down.
Well, that was easy. Stay tuned next week. I'll show you how to balance your budget while freebasing crystal meth.
Cody 2012!
Yes.
That, by the way, is why you don't do that. Ever.
That is right. Kids, don't do PCP. Ever.
No. Don't have a lawn.
What?
It's a lot of care and maintenance. You have to aerate it and
you're
deal with
talking
gas. No, leave PCP out of this. What did it ever do to you? It's fine.
Oh.
Speaking of PCP, the Coachella Music Festival wrapped up 3 days of music and sleeplessness and filth with a very special performance from Tupac.
Now, the last time we saw Tupac, he was shot 9 times. But the Blue Ghost rapper that appeared on stage last night to perform the bass-heavy duet, Two of America's Most Wanted with Snoop Dogg, doesn't have mortal worries like rap wars, bullets, or even eating.
Now follow as we ride, mother west to up the best from the west side. And I can make you famous, down, yes. So how can they blame us if you got a bad floor? Another one, 2 of America's most wanted. Party, party, party.
It's crazy how he did that.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I really don't. But before we were using holograms to bring musicians back from the dead, we were using them to let musicians help analyze election night with Wolf Blitzer. That was fun. Remember that?
Alex Semwise went to London to see how it's done.
Holographic superstars and AI-powered performances are no longer just the stuff of sci-fi and anime. Now we're here at Musion in London to find out the latest in holographic technology.
The Musion eyeliner system is the most cutting-edge holographic technology around today. The projector is hidden up high in the rig in the ceiling. It projects straight down a digital image. The bounce screen reflects it up onto the foil, allowing spectacular three-dimensional moving images to appear within a live stage setting. Live or virtual stage presenters can appear alongside and interact with virtual images of humans or animated characters.
We film on high-definition cameras, the Genesis camera, pre-record the holograms, and then we do a lot of animation, and then it's projected. You do have to do a lot of takes because when you shoot everything, you have to shoot it as a theatre, so you have to get it all in one shot. There's no edits. If the artist or the talent that you're shooting screw up at any moment, you right back to the beginning, and you've got to get it all in one take.
Holograms, I mean, they've been around for a very, very long time. The actual technology has been derived from an old theatre trick, which is called Pepper's Ghost.
You think I could have a chance to have a mess around with some holograms?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, here is where we find out that working with holograms is a lot like working on Attack of the Show. We've got Kevin here. Hi, Kevin. Trying to nick things again, I see. What is that? Okay, yeah. You go up there and find out what that thing was. That's not Kevin. That's Blair. He stealed it. So, thanks to Square Zero and Musion and their Minority Report style technology, you too could be partying with will.i.am, but let's hope that your dance skills are a bit better than mine, because mine suck.
That's so cool. I love it. I want to do it.
Stick around. Radiation from Japan might already be here in America.
Find out whether or not you need a LED umbrella in the loop right after this. So you want to dance with some holograms?
I don't want to be a hologram.
No. Terminator.
Okay, that's a terrible idea. Terminators are deadly killer robots.
True, but these collectible Terminators from Hot Toys are probably pretty safe.
And deadly.
No. From video games to movies to comics, action figures find their inspiration from all corners of the pop culture universe. And to help learn us on all things miniature, we caught up with our resident expert.
Hey guys, it's me, Daniel Pickett from ActionFigureInsider.com, the best darn toy news on the internet.
First up, load up that minigun and sharpen that arrow. The guys at Hot Toys are fulfilling our cinema needs.
So recently, Hot Toys announced that they are doing the entire lineup of the Avengers from the feature film. The first figure we're going to be seeing is Hawkeye, and it's got a great likeness of Jeremy Renner. It's got even sunglasses that you can put on and off like the character. He comes loaded with all his arrows. He's got a bow, authentic costume to the movie, and it just looks like there's a tiny 12-inch Jeremy Renner walking around your shelf.
And for all you Terminator fans,
they just announced an Arnold Schwarzenegger T-800 from Terminator 2, and that's one of their DX lines, which means you can take the little panel off the back, and you can even move his eyeballs around to give it the expression that you want. He comes loaded with accessories. He's got a detachable scalp that's got the little Cyberdyne chip in his head. He's got tons of weapons, the bandolier, minigun, grenade launcher. He comes with his authentic leather jacket. So these figures will be coming out later this summer. They're import figures, so you're gonna pay a little bit more, but you can get them through Sideshow Collectibles as well.
But not all toys need to be small to be cool. Case in point, the life-sized portal gun.
Straight from Aperture Science into your home. And it's got the fully articulated little fingers on the end. It lights up, it makes sound. There's actually a trigger inside that will change the light at the front from the blue portal to the orange portal. It's an exact replica to the game. It fits on your hand, and I can't wait to go around scaring the neighbors with it.
The portal gun will be limited to 5,000 units and will be available later this summer. And finally, no toy collection would be complete without the latest from a galaxy far, far away.
So one of Hasbro's big announcements at Toy Fair was their Comic-Con exclusives. This year, they are looking at doing a box that looks like the Carbon Freeze playset from Empire Strikes Back. You'll get 6 figures, one from each of the films. The figures will be a Clone Trooper Lieutenant, a regular Clone Trooper, a Sand Trooper, Princess Leia, and Darth Vader. But the really fun piece is Jar Jar Binks frozen in carbonite, which I think we all need and love.
To get the latest toy news, head over to actionfigureinsider.com or check out Daniel's podcast, Geek Shall Inherit. Hey! It's Earth Week, bitches! Yeah! So let's show Mother Earth some love and attack this eco-friendly stuff. In the event of a national emergency or zombie apocalypse, we might lose the kinds of modern communication that we've become so accustomed to. So get prepared for the worst with this eco-friendly DIY emergency radio. This FM Radio Instructables project is based on reusing materials like an old pair of headphones and an Altoid tin casing. Plus, it's powered by tiny solar panels and 2 rechargeable AA's. It takes only 45 minutes to put together and will keep you connected with the outside world as it burns to the ground. It's depressing. Best part is you can add this tool to your survival kit for only $3. So do it. But in the meantime, before the world crumbles, we all want to do our part to take care of Mother Earth, don't we? Yeah. And the Eco Labels app from Consumer Reports is the perfect place to start. This iOS app is simply a shopping companion that'll help you sift through the aisles of your grocery store and shop with the environment in mind. Unfortunately, some companies take advantage of consumers' eco-guilt by just slapping an organic label on their food. But this app, from the most trusted of sources, will let you know what to buy that's truly organic and eco-friendly. And it's 100% free. So yay! And finally, in the future, we will have to get away from single-use electronics. So let's get started with B-squares. These modular electronics kits can be rearranged, rewired, and daisy-chained in any way imaginable. The modules, from solar panels to energy-efficient LEDs, can be bought individually, and all you need are some basic electronic skills to tailor them to your needs. From solar chargers to tiny robots, get started making your own multi-use electronics for only $15 a pop. But if none of this is enough to satisfy your green lust, hit up Universal.com to find out how just one small act can make a big difference. Yeah. Still ahead, Jim Gaffigan joins us in studio to tell us about his new downloadable comedy special.
My next guest has some very wise things to say about food. Please welcome back Jim Gaffigan, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. I just look like Phil Hoffman. That's not him.
You were great in Happiness. It was such a dark role, but man, did you...
Yeah, that was that sticky moment. That was a little awkward.
Oh, yeah. But the dog loves you now.
Yes.
Okay, let's get off of that quickly.
Yeah.
So food for you is a big theme that reoccurs throughout this stand-up special. You believe that McDonald's is the same as Starbucks, is the same as... It's all poison?
Well, no, it's a guilty pleasure. I mean, it's you know, I don't think that, you know, that McDonald's is anything worse than our obsession with the Kardashians or the fact that, you know, men like to look at naked women. It's all guilty pleasure. And you know, culturally we're told that like McDonald's is this great Satan, and it's not. It's something that we shouldn't do a lot of. but it doesn't mean that, you know, there's nothing wrong with Glee, but it's not Shakespeare. It's pop garbage that, you know, we either watch. It's pop songs that cute kids are singing,
right?
And McDonald's is crappy food that we're eating, and we should kind of recognize that it's all crap. Hey, I'm a guy who goes on stage and tells essentially diarrhea jokes. I'm not judging them. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you're also a guy that you've tapped into something with Mr. Universe for $5. Go online, DRM free, download it, enjoy it, watch it, love it, easy. Was this an easy decision for you to make as a performer to say, look, you could go tour this thing, you could sell it as a special to any network, to go and do it on your own?
Well, Louis did it, and you know, it's you know, he's a great comedian, and I think it struck a chord, particularly within the context of that SOPA debate that was existing.
Certainly.
And for me, it's, you know, I have a different set of expectations on this. For me, it was a decision between, you know, the model of, you know, releasing a DVD and broadcasting it on like a network versus, you know, versus I would make the same money in both scenarios. Mm-hmm. But in one scenario, this scenario that I'm doing, it's less expensive to the people that like my comedy. You know, it's just $5, and I learned that from Louis, and it's really easy to download. I'm not a tech guy, you know. I have an embarrassing limited knowledge of the internet, but I know that it's easy to download, and there's no restrictions, which is, you know, I've got 4 kids. I've got 8 different iPad and, you know, iPod Touch.
Well, each one of those damn kids should buy their own copy, right?
They
I mean, that's the way. That's the American way. They
you know, we're gonna have a reality show where you get to vote off one of my kids. You know, it's. You know, we'll do that. You know, I do want to bring up that my expectation. Look, I'm not going to have Louis' numbers. I'm not. There's not going to be a New York Times article on me. It's like this is something for people that like my comedy. Opposed to paying $20, they're going to get it for $5. But
down the road, though, DVD, sell it as a special on TV, or is this it? This is for the internet guys?
It's not going to be on TV. I mean, I don't know. You know, I also have 4 kids, so I'm not ruling it out to you know, sell it in some other format, maybe in a year or something. But my expectation is that I want to break even, and as I break even, I can maybe. Hopefully the story will be that, you know, I've raised, you know, my break-even $65,000. I've raised $65,000 for veterans, but I don't expect to make that announcement in 5 days like Louis did.
We are more than delighted to help promote it and spread the good word. And
Thank you.
if it's not $65,000 in 5 days, I'm sure it'll be 7, good sir. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Real pleasure, Jim.
Thanks so much.
Jim Gaffigan, everybody. Pick up his new comedy special at jimgaffigan.com. It's $5. Go get it. But now, over to Candace Bailey.
Thank you, Kevin. You want something supercharged? Yeah. Then you want a Camaro.
Whether cruising down the highway or transforming into a gigantic yellow robot, there's no doubt that the Camaro has long been a symbol of badassness. But now with the debut of the ZL1, Chevy has truly created a monster. So what makes the ZL1 different from the rest of the pack? Well, the first place to look is under the hood. Now, the ZL1 uses Chevy's supercharged 6.2-liter LSA V8 engine. At 580 horsepower, it is the fastest production Camaro ever built. To help put that in perspective, that means the ZL1 has better horsepower than a Ferrari 458, has more torque than an Aston Martin DB9 V12, and has better power-to-weight ratio than a Porsche 911 Carrera GTS. In other words, vroom vroom. So enough about the facts and figures. What I want to see is how does this little baby handle on the racetrack? Now, unfortunately for me, it started raining, so I'm not going to drive it like I was hoping to. However, I do have Camaro development engineer and pro driver Aaron Link here to take me out for a spin. What can I expect out there?
Well, as you say, it's damp out there, but we will be able to achieve triple-digit speed and show you, I'd guess, about 70 to 80% of what the car can do.
Very nice. I expect great things from this Camaro, Aaron.
I would think I could make you scream out there.
You would be the first man to do so. Shake on that, sir. Let's see what you've got.
I'm ready.
Oh my. There's that torque. No, just do what you're comfortable with. I'm totally fine with that. Oh my God, you're not kidding. That's awesome. Do it.
Cowboy stuff there.
Aaron got close, but Aaron did not make me scream.
I beg to differ.
What? That's awesome! The new ZL1 is an amazing piece of machinery coming out late this spring for $54,000. You should run out and get yourself one. Why? Because it's a bitchin' Camaro.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jessica.
Why are we thanking her? I don't mean it like that. She's a great person, but she got to drive around in a very sweet ride. She should be thanking us.
Yeah, hey, that's a good point.
Thank you.
We'll be waiting by the phone, Jessica. Hey, good news! If you've been waiting to watch the epic battle of man versus the world's most difficult obstacle course, your wait is over.
That's right. The first U.S.-based season of American Ninja Warrior premieres May 20th on G4. The winner could nab $500,000. That's enough to buy 2 foreclosures in SoCal. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's my birthday, too, May 20th.
Well, happy birthday. You should run the course.
Thanks. No, I did that. Tried that. It didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, has radioactive fallout from Japan reached the United States?
I hope not, but we're going to find out very soon in the Loop.
Today's Road Report is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Behold, a delegation from the proud island nation of journalism.
Ambassador Sarah Underwood, we salute you.
Salute you too. Thank you guys. Salute you too. It's time to start the feed.
All the news you need to know. The feed.
It's Monday, April 16th, and here are your top stories. Apple is warming up their shrink ray and readying the release of the new mini iPad. Yay! A report from sources in China citing manufacturers in the People's Republic said a smaller version of the iPad will be arriving in the U.S. in the third quarter of this year in order to squash competitors like the Kindle Fire and the new Windows 8 tablets. They say the new device, presumably a whole 2 inches smaller than the current iPad, could be priced as low as $249. Well, that's good. Maybe no one in China will have to sell their organs to buy one this time around. Remember that? That was fun. That was a good time. Last week, we told you about Best Buy's CEO taking a walk and their plan to shut the doors of 50 stores nationwide. Well, now the mega chain has named 42 of the stores getting the axe. In a statement released over the weekend, the big box retailer elaborated on their strategy to weed out underperforming locations and shift their business to smaller stores. The locations on the list span 20 states and will be closed down for good by May 12th. In the meantime, they'll be holding clearance sales to empty those stores of all inventory. Yeah! So if you want in on some cheap goods, get your bargain hunting hat on and be prepared to fight off hordes of coupon-cutting housewives. Now, tomorrow, residents in the Washington, D.C. area will have the chance to see the retired Space Shuttle Discovery in flight. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be strapped to a 747, but it's going to be in flight. Yes, the spacecraft is currently being bolted atop a specially equipped Boeing in preparations for its final flight from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida to its resting place at the National Air and Space Museum. The people of D.C. will get quite a show as the plane will fly over a number of famous D.C. landmarks at a low flying altitude of only 1,500 feet. It's low. NASA created a Flickr group and is encouraging people to upload photos of the shuttle's final voyage. So if you're in the area, head to nasa.gov for a map of the best places in the city to watch the historic flight. And finally, if you're planning on being excessively drunk and rowdy the next time you go to a football game, think again. Yes, announced today, the NFL said that beginning this season, fans who are kicked out of any NFL stadium will have to take a 4-hour online class, pay $75 to do so. Yeah. And you have to score at least a 70% on a code of conduct test for readmittance. Now, anyone who tries skirting the test will be placed on an unforgiven list that includes their name, photo, and last known seat number. And if they're caught trying to enter a stadium, they'll be arrested for trespassing. Yeah, so next time you plan on downing a half a dozen beers and giving that visiting fan a piece of your mind, it might be best just to keep it to yourself. I'm Sarah Underwood. You have just been fed. Now over to Kevin.
Thank you, Sarah Underwood. Now, when Japan's Fukushima reactor had a bit of a meltdown, nuclear fallout escaped into the atmosphere. And now Japan's over 5,000 miles away, but that's really just a short ride on the jet stream. And now we're seeing elevated radiation levels here in the States. So is it time to live underground? We're going to find out right now in The Loop. All right, joining me right now here in Los Angeles to help us make sense of it all, journalist and co-creator of EnviroReporter.com, Michael Collins is here.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for coming here, sir.
Thank you.
You're doing some incredibly important work on your site, so it's a pleasure to have you here. To recap again, giant earthquake into tsunami into nuclear meltdown in Fukushima. And people said immediately after that, scientists, environmental reporters, they said this stuff is going to get in the air, the radiation is going to get into the water, it's going to hit the driftwood that's swirling around in the ocean, and eventually it might, who knows, actually hit the coast of the United States. Has that day arrived?
That day arrived fairly quickly after those triple meltdowns began. Now, you're not going to get that out of our government. We've had a lot of wishful thinking, and I understand it. It's pretty grim stuff. But this is the worst man-made environmental disaster in history. It makes Chernobyl look like a dinner mint compared to a buffet of bad news coming out of Fukushima.
Okay. How do we know that it has arrived, though? What sort of testing is being done? Surely the government must have scientists out there pulling samples from everywhere and running a battery of tests?
I wish. The government did do special testing for a while. They did pick up radionuclides that are absolutely related to a melted down reactor. Okay. Then 10 days before the Japanese admitted that there were 3 full uncontrolled meltdowns. 10 days before that, the United States Environmental Protection Agency said, we're not going to test anymore because nothing can possibly get here.
Wow.
Now, we didn't take that tact. I've been an environmental journalist since '98. I've worked with radiation since about that time. And my wife, Denise, and I, we decided we were going to set up a radiation station in Santa Monica because we're upwind of most of the greater LA basin. So we figured what radiation we would pick up in Santa Monica would be helpful for people to see.
Sure.
So for that entire time, we've had a 24/7 live streaming a radiation station in Santa Monica, but we've done a lot of tests and we've found heightened radiation in all sorts of media.
Well, so I know one of those things you tested, and it was a story that really blew up, especially here locally. People were kind of flailing their arms above their head, but it was with regard to the rainwater. Normally there's trace amounts of radiation in rainwater, but apparently we had a downpour a couple weeks back that was off the charts.
It was off the charts. It was the highest radiation that we picked up in the last 13 months since the meltdowns began. What we found is in January, University of California, Davis came out with a report that said when radioactive fuel has water poured on it, like in Fukushima, where they're trying to keep it cool.
Right, just trying to cool it down, pouring gallons and gallons and gallons of ocean water on it.
Millions and millions of gallons of seawater, fresh water. What happens to that water? UC Davis found out that the water turns to peroxide. The radiation gets trapped in so-called buckyballs, which are like geodesic domes, capture up to about 60 molecules of different types of uranium in these buckyballs. They're very light, they're very mobile, and we've been picking up what we think are buckyballs here, even without rain in Los Angeles.
So what does that mean? It's getting into the mist, or it's getting into the...
You hit it. It's getting into the sea mist. There have been numerous studies out of Europe and the United Kingdom that have measured radiation in ocean water and sea water, and then measured the same radiation up to 200 miles inland. So what we did was we took these two studies. This is what's happening with the radiation in Japan. This is how it can move across the Pacific, all on our site, and this is how it can come inland. Give you an example, we measured some things that we'll check out just today, and the numbers are out of this world.
Well, let's do that. And actually, right before we do, there's a multitude of different types of radiation. There's some that are completely harmless and naturally occurring. There's others that are very dangerous, even in just the slightest trace amounts. What kind of radiation are we talking about here?
The latter. When you talk about normal radiation, you're talking about cosmic radiation, radiation from the sun. People get skin cancer from that. When you talk about normal radiation, you got uranium, thorium, potassium in the soil, and that will create radon gas. These are so-called natural radiations. What you have in a nuclear reactor's core or in a spent fuel pond, you have a witch's brew of the most intense and most lethal radionuclides known to man, and it's all because of our doing.
All right, let's take a stroll on over to some of the stuff that you've been testing, and you can tell me about the device in your hand, which is what you use to test for this radiation.
That's right. This is an Inspector Alert nuclear radiation monitor. It detects X-ray radiation, alpha radiation, beta radiation, gamma radiation, and another kind of radiation that's too strange to even try to tell you about.
Okay.
But what this is a very
that's the one with the laser vision and Hulk out.
Yeah, I've been using it here, believe me. So the thing is that you can pick up radiation with this as a very sensitive device. So we have been using this. We have one of these online streaming, and then we have another one where we go around and test stuff.
Sure.
Now check this out. This here, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, put on some gloves.
I'm sorry to our props department that put out these totally radiated items. Without those gloves, that was very kind of you.
Well, I don't need the gloves if I have a volunteer to handle this stuff.
No.
You got any takers? No.
None.
Okay.
None.
Yeah, it's silence. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here what we have here is something really quite amazing. This here is dust. This is dust from 3 HEPA filters out of my home office. In 3 different rooms.
So this is collected from air filters within your house
over
right
the last 40 days.
Okay, over the last 40 days.
This is just dust. We're all breathing this.
Right.
In Santa Monica, California, right on the ocean.
I kind of don't want to be standing next to it now because I have a feeling you're about to tell me it's off the proverbial chart.
It's off the proverbial charts. Now, I'm going to what I'm going to do here is when you do play with stuff that's radioactive, what you got to do, this is seaweed. We'll get to this. I'm just going to pull this out a little bit. Seaweed's supposed to be healthy for you. That was seaweed I bought a year ago.
Okay. And this is seaweed
that was purchased. I bought on Friday the 13th. And believe me, it lives up to its name. So now that I've touched this stuff, I got to get rid of these because I don't want to get this stuff on the detector.
Now look, there's some people watching this at home going, look, I eat sushi. I've definitely handled some seaweed. I had a blue crab hand roll last week, and they see you put on gloves. They might be freaking out right now. Is that entirely necessary?
I don't. Yes.
Yes.
I don't. My goal is not to freak people out.
Right.
The knowledge that you can get from knowing about this stuff can help improve your lives. Because the fact of the matter is, there are ways to protect yourself against the water, the air, the food, and even being fearful. There are ways to do that. Okay. This thing is on. Now I'm going to turn its sound on. You might be able to hear it off my mic.
Yep, okay, a couple little clicks there.
A couple clicks. This is just dust. I'm going to try to hold it up so the camera can get it. Watch this.
Okay, so we're seeing it pop. We were hovering around 28 or so, I think I called last time. Now we're at 50. Now, what is this number? What is this number that it's showing us? What is this measuring?
It's double background. We've measured this before we came in, so we don't have to stay on this all day because it'll keep going up. This will go up to approximately 7.5 times normal. Now, 7.5 times normal for something that came out of a machine that was cleaning the air for 40 days. California Highway Patrol considers anything 3 times normal or above to be a hazmat.
Right, so if this dust spilled out on the highway, they would close it down, roll out fire trucks. And it would be all over the news.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, this here is Japanese seaweed. Bought this back in August of 2011, a few months after the
Few months
meltdowns
after.
began, a very good indicator of what kind of radiation you might have in the Pacific. This was harvested off the very southern end of Japan. Fukushima is up on the
It's on the northern
northwest,
side, so this,
the
yeah, that had to get
northeast
done.
side. Check this out. This is 11 months after buying it. No, I mean, 8 months after buying it.
And again, what are the numbers that we're seeing here? Like, what is this actually telling us?
What this tells us is when you measure this particular type of thing, you can see these tests on our site. When you measure this stuff, you can determine what kind of radiation is in it. When I measure this stuff in a bag, I'm getting beta and gamma radiation. When I take it out of the bag, I'm also getting alpha radiation. With both these samples, and by the way, the latest sample that I bought just this last Friday is much hotter. It's about 70% hotter in a direct per day comparison to this, meaning that the radiation in the water in Japan has gone up.
Right.
What
some people might be saying, well, I don't eat seaweed by the handful, so I'm okay. But if they brush their teeth,
they brush their teeth.
There might be seaweed in it.
That's right.
actually.
Seaweed is used in beer. It's used in toothpaste. It's used in a lot of food ingredients because it's an emulsifier. It makes things stay moist.
All right, so Michael, now that they've covered their television in plastic and they're screaming, what can people really do to protect themselves? Because it does sound rather dire to just know that it's floating around in the air, and it might be in the sushi that we're eating, it might be in the toothpaste that we're using in our mouths. Is there anything people can do right now?
There's absolutely stuff people can do, and it doesn't take a lot of money. First of all, if you have some money, go down to Sears, Walmart, get yourself a HEPA filter that cleans out the air, and you can then collect these things.
Right. Or get 12 cats. Either way, they'll do a great job of popping out radiated cat.
HEPA filters clean your air.
Okay.
We have water systems that purify your water. Hook up to your sink, hook up to your sparklets, clean your water. Know what's in your food. There are 49 Japanese markets in Southern California sell this stuff. I don't know if you want to buy it unless you know what's in it. Now, there are over 900 Japanese restaurants in Southern California. You should know what's in it. You know, I have very close relations with the Japanese community, and the people most affected by this are the Japanese.
Oh, certainly.
And we're looking at a real catastrophe just about to happen to Japan. For reasons that are just go on and on, but
well, Michael,
you folks
we're gonna wrap it there now that everybody is thoroughly aware, and hopefully they head over to your site and read up on it because there's a wealth of knowledge there, and I appreciate you coming on and talking about it.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it, Michael. This is very, very serious stuff. I hope you guys take it as seriously as you should. Michael Collins from EnviroReporter.com. Thank you for keeping us in the loop. Stick around. There's more attack coming up after this. So the part that really concerns me. Tomorrow on Attack of the Show.
Community star Danny Pudi drops by live for an after-school study session with the college comedy. Then Chris Gore rates the latest Blu-rays, including Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol and BBC documentary Frozen Planet on DVD Day. And strap on your seatbelts. We are investigating Google's self-driving car in robot news.
It's Attack of the Show tomorrow at 7. Well, tomorrow sounds fun.
I'm terrified now after that. I eat sushi all the time.
Yeah, listen, there are some people that will argue and say, listen, EPA standards for radiation, because it is such a sensitive subject that if you're even an ounce over what a normal level should be, that's why they react, and it's a 4-alarm fire.
That was a lot over.
Clearly a lot over. And other people will say, well, there's different types of radiation that do different types of things, and you probably need a better test than just holding a device to it. But with that said, like, just common sense sort of dictates it's a catastrophe, and wind's blowing our way.
Yep.
We're probably going to get a face full of it at some point.
On that note.
But hey, there's great video games coming out this year, guys. So if you have a PS3 or an Xbox, now is a great year.
Thanks to Jim Gaffigan, Michael Collins, Alex Enwise, Jessica Tobot, and I'm going to do a very special thanks to Sarah Underwood.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks, Sarah Underwood. And thank you, Candace Bailey.
Thank you, Kevin
for being
Pereira.